Back in the nest is a hair care and skincare entrepreneur from Harare.
You're probably wondering why we're back for season 4. Back in season 2, there's a lot of things that we had to work on.
Nigel's first journey in the nest didn't quite go to plan.
Figures you're telling me. Because at $3, you're telling me you're selling 50 of them in your 10 retail outlets.
Why are you having so many issues with customer acquisition when you have 10 locations, but your turnover is at $150?
I haven't seen a social media handle on your product. I haven't seen your marketing strategy.
We have done the R&D. These are prototypes, but we haven't commercialized the concept.
This time, he's brought his partner and a refined formula.
We have done lots of research, lots of work that has been happening the past years. So we feel that we are now ready to engage into that program.
Together, the duo is hoping to make a fresh impression.
Good day, judges.
Hi, Nigel. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. You can go ahead with your presentation.
All right. My name is Nigel Ruona, and I am from Ona Natural Oils, and here with me is my business partner.
Good day, judges. My name is Obey Kudzaigunda.
So I started off with a skincare product to help soothe my dry skin condition known as munyaviri or hives, which is an excessive dryness or itchiness that's caused each time I would take a bath. And unfortunately, there's no cure for it. My grandmother would then bring me feso leaves to bathe with that she'd take from Kwarusapi, where I come from, Kwatandi specifically. And I would bathe with these, and then they would help ease my frustration each time I would take a bath. I went on to study biochemistry to further understand that this traditional knowledge that I'd gathered from her about feso, and I wanted to turn it into a viable product that I can share with others using science. This is how Ona Natural Oils was birthed. It's a combination of science and tradition to create wealth. We work with these indigenous species not because it's fun, but because we believe that there's high potential by commercializing these products. Our competitive advantage is that we are using our knowledge of science and tradition to create viable, potent hair and skin products. So far, our revenue model works. 60% of our revenue comes from retailers and wholesalers. So far, we're supplying Pick n Pay, which has more than 62 stores. So our products can be found nationwide. We're also supplying other stores, Spa. At the same time, also supplying Healthy Options, another retailer that we work with. Then 30% of our sales also come from tool production. We're working with Hyatt Regency, the recently opened Miko's Hotel. We provide their spas and some of their hotel amenities that they also sent out to some of the hotels in Haiti and Cape Town. And at the same time, also work with some other individuals that are interested in working with cosmetics. Then 10% of our sales also comes from distributors. We work mostly with hairdressers and salons in our group called Unseen Beauty Makers. We give them stock on consignment that they use for their clients. So far, in 2022, we had managed to sell under 1K in revenue. And then in 2022, we've managed to go under 8K. And then this year so far, we've managed to reach about 15K. For Feso Hair Shampoo this year so far, we've sold about 454 units so far. And then we've also got Feso Hair Oil for about 600 units that we've sold so far. And then this year alone, we've also sold about 1.6 tons of cream. That's the ones that you can see before you. When looking at exports, so far, we're targeting Zambia. The reason why I say Zambia, so far with our Pick n Pay deal, it gives us access to Pick n Pay Africa. And hopefully from there, we're actually trying to look for ways of how we can penetrate that market through Pick n Pay Africa. As you see before, you've brought in our Feso Hair products, which is our best-selling products, and also some Marula Body Butter, which is also our second best-selling product. Thank you.
As global demand for natural hair and skincare products rises, Ona Natural Oils returns with hopes of breaking into the booming market. But first, the judges want to know what's changed since their last appearance in the nest.
Just give us a bit of background. This is not your first time here.
Yes.
Okay. Can you briefly tell us what feedback we gave you last time and what you've done to address those issues?
Okay, so the first one was we had a good product. We still have a good product, but the main issue was that we hadn't been in as many places that our product could potentially go into, number one. Number two, we're actually selling the wrong people, which is something I discovered with that period that our customers are actually the wrong customers, of which once we fixed that, it actually created the market that we now have. When you now went to the right people who actually appreciate the product, we've now started seeing sales moving. Secondly, it was also to do with our labeling. I think for us as a business, there wasn't really an actual narrative that we're working with. Now what you can see is there was a story behind it, and we try to cement that in everything that we do on why we're working hard to work with these items.
I wanted to find out a little bit more about your capacity.
All right. So what we've managed to do in the past year, we've managed to get equipment. We've got for our creams and our body washes, we've got a 500-liter agitator that can make us, for the shampoos, can make about 1.7 in a day.
1.7 what?
Units, 1.7 thousand units.
Okay.
Yes, of each item, as you can see. So for items such as our hair food, we're able to make at least 500 in a day, still using the machinery that we now have now.
So in terms of a percentage, you'd say that how much of the capacity are you currently using?
It's actually slightly under 40% of the machine that we now have.
All right. And so your export trajectory, are there plans to further mechanize?
We are looking forward to even increase in terms of our production capacity, because we have got the machine there on the place. And with the current stores that we actually have some products being left on the side. So we feel like we are now at a point to start exporting those other products, and also it's a way of spreading risk.
With improved capacity and a refined business model, the scent of potential is unmistakable. Next up is Leslie, and he's ready with the questions.
It's a good attribute for entrepreneurs not to give up. And I think well done for that. I also like the storytelling bit where, we now understand how this Feso product came to life, combining science and tradition to create wealth. Well done on that. My question now is, we have created new channels away from your previous channels, right? How has been your experience in the retail space? How are you managing the dynamics that are coming in the retail space?
Our model used the feedback from those supermarkets. Like now, we had taken that knowledge from being in those spaces. We can now see Feso as our best product. And for them paying us using Zig, we are able to keep the business running, because much of the stuff, mostly I can say 90% of the stuff that we use, we can buy them locally.
So for a business to be sustainable, it has to be impactful, and the impact has to be measurable. It has to be scalable. It has to be people-oriented. So I would want to understand from you guys, how many people are you impacting in your value chain?
With our Feso, it's mostly coming from Busabe, about 5 women that help us to sort it out, because we wanted it in a certain way. There's a specific way that we use our Feso with, number one. Number two, we're looking for ways to research and developing ways to cultivate this Feso, because the problem that is, it's something that just grows wildly. So now we're actually in the process of researching, finding ways that we can cultivate it, that we can even essentially grow it anyway.
The reason why I was laughing when you were presenting, we don't actually have a good memory of Feso. Feso right by Atirukumombe. We used to, we have got a lot of pain areas, that thing
It's a pain point.
It's a pain point, So actually, you can actually develop a story out of it, It's some pain points that, but ultimately there's actually something good that can Feso do.
Across the country, young Zimbabweans are turning childhood experiences into market-ready innovations. And Honor Natural Oils is a shining example. Their use of Feso has struck a chord with the judges. However, wisdom is keen to walk through the numbers. Could this be a thorny path for the duo?
Let's go into the numbers, okay?
Yeah.
You said that Pick n Pay has how many stores? 60?
62 years.
62 stores,
Yeah.
Okay. And you are selling 454 and 600, how many units?
600 units of Feso hair oil, yes.
600 units, right?
Yeah.
This annually? Okay.
From January up until now. This is what we've sold.
So your biggest sellers are the oil?
And the shampoo and the hair balm.
And the hair balm.
Yes.
Okay. So that accounts to how many units per month per product?
It's about 60.
60 per month.
For the hair, is it? Sorry, let me do the mental math. So
there are 60 something stores, okay?
Yeah.
Right? There are about 454 units of a particular product that you sold to date. Okay? And then 600 and something of the other one to date.
Yes.
Over the 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that works out to about
18 units per month.
18 units per month.
Oh, per store.
Or per product line.
So are you in all 62 stores? That's the question.
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
So which means that you have a lot of
selling
product.
in all of them?
You have a lot of products sitting in
On
stores
shelves.
around the country.
No, not necessarily. We also work with the buyer ordering system. So in as much as you might have certain products in certain store, there are also minor inconveniences in some of the stores that they wouldn't necessarily reorder at that specific time. I think some other fluctuations throughout the year, for this year alone, we would see product running out, but then they wouldn't necessarily reorder, maybe just to wait for strengthening of certain items during that period of the year.
So that's why the problem is, Nigel. You guys, are spreading yourself too thinly, right? You need to identify your sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Focus on your sweet spot.
Yeah.
Intensify your efforts on your sweet spot so that the uptake of the product becomes quicker. Because now the other issue, I've been in the retail space for long enough.
Yeah.
When one product is not performing, right, they will not order even if the other product is finished. They'll wait for the entire range to be finished, right? Okay. So it is your duty now for you guys to streamline and focus on the product that are moving at certain particular areas, right? It's a nice feeling to say I'm in all the 62, but
Numbers, numbers, numbers. The entrepreneurs have hit their first snag. Despite an impressive distribution network, sales remain surprisingly low. Chad is keen to dissect this dilemma.
In terms of your distribution strategy, as part of your go-to-market strategy, if you already know who your customer archetype is in terms of where they are, who they are, and you're able to describe them, you must then be able to narrow down, because you must be able to first and foremost sell to someone before you can sell to everyone. And I think what you're trying to do now is you're trying to sell to everyone without knowing precisely who the particular customer archetype looks like and what attributes do they have and where exactly do they shop. So it's like we are throwing darts around, hoping to aim to hit a target. But in essence, what you should be doing is to preserve your energy, preserve your resources, figure out who precisely would demands this particular product, and then you target them. The second thing is that you mentioned that currently your capacity is around 40% production. If you're utilizing 40% of your capacity in the numbers that you're doing, it means that the scale for this thing is quite limited. My question to you would be, who are your top, let's say, 3 direct competitors for this particular product range?
Okay, so we've got Vida, Easy Waves, also selling, and then for the oils, for hair oils, I think we've only got some other.
Yeah, so if you are launching a product like this, especially into the mass market, like you've done, 62 different stores means you are trying to go intense. Product like these could either benefit from exclusivity, which means you exclusively sell through different channels, or selectivity. So you've got to either select the few handful of retail outlets that push your products. Because if you're going to go after Vida with your capacity now, chances are that you're going to wear yourselves thin. And when I asked you who are your top 3 competitors, you're a bit hesitant in terms of responding. You must be able to know who you're competing with. The fact that you are not yet sure of what your competitive landscape looks like puts you on the back foot.
You didn't mention, or I didn't hear you mention anything about certification.
No. So for all our products, we test them through Zim Labs. So for your creams and your oils, there's certain parameters that we check for the that allow us to then sell to consumers, right? Yes.
Are you working with any sort of medical doctors to sort of validate from a medical perspective?
It's something that we can do. So far with our Feso range, we're working with articles and journals that have actually been, and studies that have actually been done at Bindura University of Zimbabwe for the claims that we actually work with.
And then intellectual property for your formulation, have you secured your IP?
So far what we've just done is we've applied for the logo. We've gone to Aripo to get we've actually in the process of getting our logo trademarked.
Okay, in terms of product formulation?
Product formulation, not yet. We're in the process.
The entrepreneurs have made their case and tackled the tough questions. Now, the judges are ready to deliver their verdict. Will they endorse the business for export?
I think there's a lot of improvement from last time, especially on the packaging. It's now more Afrocentric, you know, the Feso story is now coming out more vividly than it was. Your product is differentiated. I would call this product a heritage-based formulation, right? Something that we grew up using, but now it has been commercialized. So I would say yes, but with the hope that you guys are going to lock on these loose ends so that your business model becomes, because currently you are now going in a growth stage, and if growth is not managed, your overheads will spread, and if your overheads will spread, you run a non-profitable business, and boom, owner is gone.
Since the last time we saw you, you've made some impressive strides. It will be a yes from me, but I'd like to also see you put a lot of more emphasis on the efficacy of your products. Let's hear a bit more of a buzz there. And I think you guys, you should be able to get a firm foot into the market and into the export market as well.
Thank you.
For me, I think it's a yes, because I think the product has promise, but I think you've got to figure out, clearly define your customer archetype. Then number two, in terms of your go-to-market strategy, I think you need a rethink of that. But I think subject to that, it's a yes from me.
Thank you.
Yeah, my problem has never been your product. My problem has been the business. We've been talking about the business side of your product. And I think that's where your work is. There's a lot of work to be done there. And I think that now that we've established, relatively a market, we can go into the nitty-gritties and build something great. So it's going to be a yes from me. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. 4 yeses.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The judges are in agreement. Despite a distribution strategy that could use some polishing, Owner Natural Oils has what it takes to compete on the global stage. The team is moving forward to the next round.
Our effort is not about the winning only, but it's just about us owner going out there, people seeing what we are doing. We are not pushed by getting the trophy, it's something else, but just being part of this journey, it matters most to us as a brand.
The Eagle's Nest Youth Export Incubator, proudly brought to you by Zimtrade and EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.